Hello and welcome to Life of the Party. We are NyxRising Industries. I am JD, your dungeon master. Are we ready to fucking go?
We're ready to do it to him.
Yeah. We catch up with our bold, daring, intrepid adventurers as they have made their journey through the flooded hills, found what was the fallen star, and continued their journey on towards Sanskrit through the Mangrove Swamps. Encountering this fallen star determined it was actually an airship struck out of the sky. By what means or reason, we do not know. Elyse displaying some familiarity with this airship, and two manticores emerging from the hole where they had made a nest and attacking the party, severely hurting Astra and Boblem, bringing them nearly to the point of death. Party managed to beat them back, grew in strength actually, and carried on, pressed forwards to the edge of the Mangrove Swamps, building themselves a raft to carry on going forwards. At the edge of the Mangrove Swamps, meeting a very wonderful centaur named Demandrous Dustborn, who came...
I'm so sorry! Do not touch Demandrous.
Like definitely trying to ignore it. Who gave them all some wonderful flower crowns made out of swamp flowers and bioluminescent moss. Okay?
Astra's heart is so happy right now.
We catch up with our adventurers as they push off and continue their raft, moving further into the Mangrove Swamps.
Okay. After that sort of very gentle experience,
Yeah.
Astra's feeling very much more at ease than he has since everything that went down with the ship and the manticores. So he's just going to like take his lyre out and pluck at the strings on it. Just make a really gentle, quiet tune.
Okay, make a perception check.
20 on T.
20.
20, okay. Play.
I did that.
Which?
The melody rings out and disperses into the thick air, and you can swear you hear a counter melody. It's being played to your left, to your right, muffled as if from underneath you. It's eerie and haunting, but strangely beautiful as well.
I was just going to smile and listen to the counter melody and play along with it.
Okay. You hold for a second. You play a series of notes and hold a chord, and you hear just in the distance this ding ding ding, dum dum, as you stop, and it echoes off the trees almost, but not a physical echo. And the rest of you hear this as well, just ever so faintly.
It's just very...
It almost sounds like branches breaking and splashes hitting the water, but it also doesn't. And you paddle on through, the raft making no noise as it parts the waters behind it.
Very relaxing into a happy place. Determined never to let let himself get into that sort of situation again. And
You do see the shape of a crocodile, probably a metre to your side as it coasts past. But doesn't seem to bother you. You see its eyes flick open, its yellow, slitted eyes. He's always... One of them rotates and it does look at you, and then continues moving on.
the crocodile says, "Funny sights." So my favourite NPC in Dragon.
But none of you were there to see it.
No!
Are the same people rowing the entire time, or are we swapping in and out?
It's not so much rowing, it's more just occasionally poking it.
Yeah.
It's
you
a
see
favourite word.
Water shaping thing.
Yeah, you're able to propel it very slightly, basically taking control of the last 5 foot cube around the aft of the raft, and just having the water flow in that direction basically towards you does help propel it along slightly.
Nice.
I'm still doing it, but Ren has been significantly less helpful since we set off again. He's very distracted.
Are you playing Mr. Sandman?
I'm singing it in Sylvan.
My first thought was Enter Sandman. It was like a Sylvan version of Enter Sandman.
Mr. Swampman, though.
Give me a background.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn to Cassian and hand him the stick. So I need to try something. You take over for a bit.
I turn to Boblem and hand him the stick.
I've got a more important job.
I'm busy. He tells you.
Do some fucking manual labour. And I turn back around. And I'm gonna get out my journal.
Also to kind of see you do some manual labor.
I'm gonna get out my journal, and after the success of casting Alarm, I'm gonna take. I'm still wearing the necklace around my neck, so I'm gonna flick to another page of notes that look like they're written in two different people's handwriting, and I'm gonna cast Identify on the necklace.
Okay. You take off the necklace and place it in front of you. It's a little bit easy. Like the rafts, it's not cramped, but it's cramped, but you're not all up in each other's business.
Mm-hmm.
So there is space, and you put it down and trace a symbol around it in the moisture, and where you leave a trace in the moisture, it glows with residual energy. And the rest of you see these sort of arcane circles, these sigils that Elyse is making, and then it sections of it like lock into place, and as each does, you feel your mind like opens up to a little bit more of it. And 10 minutes go by and you're in this trance-like state before the entire circle completes and then dissipates in blue mist. And you understand what this thing is. It's an amulet of lycanthropy. You understand that for each of the heads that you pull off, crush and activate, you will gain the effects of that particular type of lycanthropy. Be that becoming a were-boar, a were-tiger, were-bear, or were-wolf.
Were-tiger. That's so rad.
And does that mean you can only do each one once?
Once for a certain time, yeah.
Come back?
No, it's basically a one-time use thing.
Okay.
But until either you're forced out of it, or for 8 hours.
Okay.
But it only works at night.
Okay.
And that guy chose a rat.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Why not tiger? Obviously
Probably
the coolest
saving
one.
them for like another time. It's like, oh no, I won't wear this dress. It's like saving it for a special occasion.
He chose so wrong.
Like, these guys look weak anyway, let me just turn into a rat.
Yeah.
But also the idea of a blue tiger is like...
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, exactly.
No, lightning stripes.
Oh.
Blue tiger, lightning stripes.
Oh my god!
No.
But like, where tiger?
When you say forced out of it,
If you were basically knocked down unconscious.
okay.
Or like, would some
So-
sort of dispel magic work on that, seeing as it's not like disease or
potentially,
affliction
but it's a fairly strong enchantment, so it would have to be a fairly strong dispel magic.
valid.
Does Elyse detect whether or not she'd be in control of herself if she did this?
You would be in control of yourself, yeah.
Nice.
I feel like that's fairly vital.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm just going to try this. Kills all of us.
Just do it right on the raft like boar. Raft sinks. That's fucking sick.
You know that while you're in that form, you can transmit lycanthropy. Okay.
Oh
God!
That's why we had to roll last time.
Yeah.
So you were basically...
You understand that, yeah, you were all
Wow.
very close to the brink of lycanthropy.
That's Sariel.
Yeah, you would have been were-rats as well.
God.
All the worst of all of them.
Yeah, honestly.
So each animal is a one-time use. So I have 4 different animals I can use once. Okay.
Ooh.
As I come out of the trance, I'm just like, guys, this is so cool.
What does it do?
What?
I can turn into each of these animals, or anyone who uses it can turn into each of these animals once, like a were, boar, or tiger.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Tiger use it.
Yeah.
I like that.
This is going to be really useful. And I, again, like, flick to the like next blank page in the journal, and I start writing, and I sketch the necklace and do like a diagram of it and stuff.
I'll save that for a rainy day.
I'm happy to concede use of it because I can do that sort of thing
You
already.
guys can turn into umbrellas.
Yes.
I'll keep hold of it for now, but yeah, this could be really useful. So cool. I need to be a blue tiger.
Paddles slow
I want to do it now.
Ren, how are you feeling back there? Or like up there? Boblem asks because he keeps doing the magic thing.
I'm fine.
Yeah? You don't seem to be a fan of water, and I notice we're kind of surrounded by it.
Again.
Always.
Thank you, Sariel.
You're welcome.
This keeps happening. Never mind.
Well, maybe next time you'll be able to go on more water without being afraid of it.
They say the best way to deal with this is to face your
Yeah,
fears.
this is exposure therapy.
He's actually fine. I don't know if I'd agree with that.
Why? You're facing your fears recently, Sariel?
I'm just not going to give him an answer. Just gonna.
Don't dignify that with an answer.
No.
Alright then. Keep your secrets.
Everyone else in the party.
How long have we been going?
Since you last stopped, about an hour. So it's past midday. 1.
Is there any indication that we're getting anywhere, or is it just endless mangroves in front of us?
You can't see anywhere beyond that. It's like a myriad of little rivers and streams crossing each other. So it's not one river that you're following. It's basically like, oh, there's another turn, another turn. But you're just following in the bearing of northwest
Yeah,
as
keep
best
the
you can.
compass out then.
Swampy roads.
Going on for about an hour or so. Boblem, you're the one to notice at the back. You see a crocodile surface, but 2-3 times as larger as any of the ones previously, because it comes up behind you, and the length of its snout is pretty much the length of the ones you've seen before.
Oh,
It takes up
that's
nearly the
big.
whole river and just emerges. Its eyes come up across, and you see the water rippling slightly as its tail shifts.
It's going towards us.
It's about 30 feet behind you at the moment.
I'm also at the back, sat next to Boblem.
Okay.
Because when I've seen it too, even though I'm playing my music. Or
Whether you
Boblem's got a much higher passive perception.
Yeah. But I
So
was
Bob,
still
Boblem,
like,
well, you'd be the
perception
first to
point.
notice, but you could point it out.
Yeah, I was still like, oh, that's a big gator.
You see its tail
That's a big
very
boy.
slowly winding in the water as it.
Can you talk to it? Tell it we're friendly.
Yeah, I'll try. So I cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Go. Hello, Mr. Gator. Can't help see when you're coming towards us.
You see it crest up a little bit further, but its nose and its nostrils come out. This titanic, colossal beast. This could, if it was going horizontal, could easily span the river.
Anything we can help you with?
You see it.
Oh, we are not food.
what's it want?
Yes.
He wants food.
Yes.
Give it the
We have the
ball.
boar. Oh, we have the boar.
We're happy to sacrifice this, right?
Yeah?
Okay.
How about I feed you? I can throw you some boar. Would you like that?
Just Boblem.
Test
And then
it.
Just do it.
Eat
You just
it.
yeet the whole leg in.
Eat the whole leg.
Yeah, okay,
towards
it's a
where
decent
the-
sized
Where
haunch.
the thing is.
Yeah, you splashes a mist of water over it and seems to just be circling it for the moment, and then you hear
I try and hurry the water.
it's a cantrip, so it won't help you anymore, but everyone else now is aware.
We need to go faster, I think. I don't know how hungry he is.
You see the head turn back. A morsel.
We
Is there
have
still
no more.
land?
Yeah, to about 10 feet to either side of you.
We land.
Can they not go on what? Can they
Still
not
go-
go on land?
We can get in the trees.
Yeah, I was going to say, are there climbable trees?
Climbable trees, yeah.
Suddenly perking back up, I'm just gonna hard jam the raft towards the side.
Okay. The raft stops still. The crocodile unfurls itself.
So do that, can I freeze the water that's like around the landing
Yeah.
so that it's more difficult for the crocodile to get over?
Okay. Boblem stays back on the back of the raft and begins holding out his hands, and over a couple of seconds these crystals of ice form up in jagged shapes and crystals and spines poking outward.
So like giving you guys time to climb as well.
Mhm.
Okay.
You hop off the boat. Okay, you're on spongy turf. You step in and your foot sinks in about 3-4 inches and it fills up the water a little bit. There are trees all around you.
Start climbing.
I'm gonna, start climbing the
Okay,
first.
make an athletics check. Anyone who's climbing.
I'm gonna cast Crystal Whip and just like whip a branch and then retract my one, so I just kind of like grappling hook up into it.
Yeah, okay. They're pretty low, so they're probably about 3-4 meters in total.
Okay, it goes up to 30 feet, but I'll just do whatever looks stable.
Yeah, you pull yourself up.
Can we do acrobatics?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, that's
Assassin's Creed it.
9.
Ooh, 18.
Okay.
12.
But I'll climb up a little bit, but I'll stay slightly lower just in case Boblem needs a hand, like hurriedly
Okay.
getting up.
Okay.
Have the others gone up?
Yeah.
Okay, then I also start climbing.
Okay.
Natural
Reach out my hand.
one.
Reach out my hand for Boblem.
Make a dexterity check.
He's too lanky.
You reach, but as everyone else steps off the
that
boat,
straight
the
down?
boat
21.
goes the other way,
Yeah.
and you find yourself catapulted back. You slip off the ice and find yourself falling back. What did you get?
21.
21. Okay, if you make a dexterity check as well to reach out and grab.
Oh no. 8.
8.
Could I use Mage Hand to like push him forwards towards me, or he's too heavy?
You're already using your action
Okay.
for that.
Yeah.
Your hand just reaches out and just grabs it. That's not enough. And
Cassian,
you find yourself falling back.
the whip.
A splash as you land in water.
It'll hurt them.
But it'll get him up into the tree.
Make an initiative check first. So dexterity basically.
Oh, what? Just like straight dex?
Yeah, add your initiative. It's basically just between you and our friend.
17.
Okay, your whip cracks out.
Boblem takes.
It's fine. No, I could have turned into an animal.
Yeah, well, Elyse told me to do this. Boblem takes 2 points of piercing damage.
Boblem takes 2 points of piercing damage and
Whipped.
pulled into the tree. As the space where Boblem was, a mighty set of jaws, close to 3-4 meters, close shut with this eruption of water and this roar, this bellowing growl that just out. The water's froth and churn with shards of ice just everywhere.
Weird water creatures, I told you.
You're all stood in you're all clambered in the branches of the trees.
I'm gonna climb higher.
I'm going to take a bit of fleece out of my bag and move it in my hands, and as I do, imagine an image of a doe appearing on the opposite bank,
Mm-hmm.
and the noise of just a doe to distract the creature as though it's coming to have a drink
Okay.
in the water.
Okay. You do see it. It looks over. And it turns back and it just looks up at you and it, the two colossal legs, these enormous shoulders, pull it forward, and this lizard, which seems to take an age to drag itself out of the water just because of the sheer bulk of it, steps out onto land. It circles around the base of the tree, its head just up. You hear, "Come now
No, thank you.
and feed."
There are other things in the swamp. Why gotta be us?
Can we hear what he's saying in response? Or?
You would hear Boblem just
Okay.
growling back. Okay.
What the fuck is wrong with this elf?
What's happening?
He really wants to feed, and I'm saying, why gotta be us?
Tell him we taste disgusting.
The tree shakes and splinters as its colossal tail slams against the base of
Right.
the tree.
I was
That's
imagining
it.
we were in different trees, but
Yeah.
Is it just one?
Whichever tree has the most people in it.
I mean,
If there's, like,
I guess
two
I would
people
have
in
to
one
be
tree?
the same
I guess
tree as
Cassian and Boblem then.
Yeah.
It's circling your tree, but it's aware of where all of you are, and it's moving between the
I
trees.
want to throw a chromatic orb at it.
I also have a question. I've got a spell that says it's about like weapon attacks for creatures like that. Does like their teeth and claws count as weapons?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. bite and tail and melee weapon attacks.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Raven Feeblement at it.
Okay. So what's the save for it?
It's not. It's just an attack roll.
Oh, nice. Okay. So what if it hits?
Yeah.
What's it do?
12.
12. You reach out and cast it. The spell fizzles away.
Okay,
You
this thing
appreciate
needs to
it.
die.
You're
Yeah.
splintering.
Chromatic orb of lightning.
Okay. Make an attack.
Wait, no, because lightning might start a fire.
You didn't start the fire.
Chromatic orb of poison.
Okay.
That is
Oh,
definitely.
certainly can't. That was amazing though. 19.
It hits it, and this spray of liquid emerges over it. You see it. You hear, no!
Leave us now, or you might die.
I'm gonna mess magic reroll one of those.
Make a
It's the
persuasion
same
check with
fucking
advantage.
roll.
Oh,
That was
Sure.
7 damage, by the way.
How charismatic
Oh.
is Boblem?
17.
Okay. It backs up and it smacks the infantry once more, and then backs up more, sort of back into the water, and just. How long do you stay there?
A long time. We will wait.
Yeah.
If it's
I really mean it. You can't get seriously injured, Mr. Gator.
And I just let like electricity crackle over me, and I just stand there staring at it like, I'll blast you again.
You'll come down eventually. And it turns, its tail cutting a swathe through the mud and water. Dives back into the water, and you see it carve a path through its colossal tail, swishing behind it, and it moves back down the river in the direction it came from.
I think
The tree you're
he's
in
gonna keep an eye out for us.
is creaking.
We need to get down.
Hold my hand. And I'll just whip us into another tree.
Can you do it with another person holding you as well?
It's just a whip.
Yeah, but
It's
it,
not like a
it
Because
moves
you have
one
to
person at a
stop that
time.
way.
So it could bring you up, and it could bring another person to you. But I don't think it can bring two people at once. It does look like
Maybe
it
it's
goes
like
out of
maybe
view.
a strength check or something. Well, no. Who knows?
Ha ha ha, a strength check for Cassian.
Yeah.
I guess
It's been a few-
pulls a creature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could pull what? It could
It's-
pull you or you to somewhere or something else to you.
So if it's going back down the river, if we wait a while, we can keep an eye on it.
I got the feeling that he was just gonna wait for us. Wait, did we go?
He went out of view.
We can't
Yeah.
do that.
And for all we know, if we put the rock
And it
down
went
on the
back
water,
down
it'll
the way
come
it
up and
came,
use us.
Exactly.
not the way you were going.
And gators are known to stop their prey. They can wait.
And we can attack.
must be its territory. We need to get out of here.
Correct.
I have something that means that we could maybe sneak past him.
What's that?
I could cast Pass Without a Trace.
Yes.
We could,
Okay.
Great spell.
Excellent stealth checks.
Great.
Is the boat okay?
Stealth checks.
I can still only
It
make
looks
one
fine.
person
It
invisible.
got slightly overturned, but
So did we make it down the tree?
yeah, I'm assuming you could have come down. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're standing on like the very spongy sort of malt accumulation which forms the landmass.
So we should probably try and leave before our friend returns.
Yeah. Thank you for the help.
It's alright.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just very rude gator. All animals are that kind.
Okay. You all gather yourself on the bank of the rooty landmass. And you're able to tip over the raft, and it's steady. It doesn't seem broken. There's still a lot of shards of ice and sheets of it surrounding it, so you kind of have to break a couple of those off. You're able to get back onto the raft. Do you continue going?
Are you gonna
yeah,
cast the
if
spell?
we can all get on the raft and I can cast it for all of us.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
keep ready. I can take over what you were doing.
Sure, I'll sit at the back and I will ready the crossbow looking backwards.
And can we also perceive in the water, like see if there's any like bubbles coming up or
Yeah.
anything? Like
You can be
underneath the
actively
water?
looking out for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's no
Actively
problem.
looking out.
Mamma
Okay.
mia.
Here I go. It's gator season, baby. The punting sticks. Okay.
Gators in the water.
Sariel passes her hands over the group, and you feel something wash over you. You don't feel any different, and when you look at one of your allies, they don't look any different. But the people you're not focusing on are blurry, and if they're in the edge of your vision, you can make out vague shapes of them, but you can only see them perfectly when you look at them, and then it's as if they're shadows and reflections. How long does that last?
An hour.
Okay.
What did it feel like?
It felt like a warm mist being washed, like hitting you once, and then.
Okay.
But like you're looking at hands, you don't feel any different.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Cool.
So I guess we try to row stealthily.
Yeah, no, you can certainly punt down stealthily.
We leave no tracks or traces of our passage.
Nice.
Yeah. So if I can have a stealth check for the group.
With
And
a
add 10.
plus 10 bonus.
Plus 10 bonus.
Yeah, on top
That's
of your
what it does.
actual stealth, I guess.
So 29 plus 6. 35.
30?
13.
17.
Wow, Ren.
12.
I had 22.
Okay, so 35 and 12. Okay. You move off silently, and you swear as you make the first step into the water, or off the water, into the boat. There's no noise as your foot leaves the water and you step onto the raft, and where it would creak, it's utterly silent. You push off, and where before you had to brush the vines, hang down out of your way, it's almost as if a breeze, a gust of wind moves that for you, and you look behind you, even with slightly altering the water. I'm assuming you can slightly reduce it, given that you're being stealthy.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Yeah, that's better. There's no trail marks of the water moving, and it's as if the waters are completely still. You keep shallow breaths, and insects chitter and move in the trees. You do see the occasional crocodile in the distance and in different islets, and resting and sleeping on the banks of the river, but none of them are the same proportions that your friend was.
Not a friend.
Not a
And none of
friend.
them seem to be paying you any mind.
Enemy.
Boblem has made an enemy of this gator. Nemesis.
Boblem goes to sleep at night, looks at a photograph of the gator.
He tried to speak nicely to it. It did not work. Boblem was polite. Exactly.
Give it the whole ball.
The whole ball leg.
The whole ball leg.
He is on Boblem's list.
Boblem has a list. Boblem has a shit list.
Oh God!
It takes a lot to get on it. He's just gonna give him a hard stare like Paddington.
Yeah. It's someone who's rude to his grandma once. And crocodile.
Oh my god, Boblem is just like Lanky Paddington.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the point.
Amazing. Okay.
For if like some of us are just sat on this boat, if we're going for a while, does that count as a short rest?
No, because it's not a restful environment.
I want to get back to that spell that I went
You're
to.
actively trying to stealth. You're controlling your breath and very aware of your surroundings.
That's valid.
For those who are at the rear, who's making a perception check?
Just me? No one else helping?
Oh, do you want me to help you?
I was assuming I was rowing
Would
again.
be.
Yeah, I'll also
If you make one as well.
make.
We can set one.
Oh.
14.
12.
Okay. You don't see the creature re-emerge.
Nice.
You paddle on, punt on. After the hour passes, you feel like a breath of cold air. The spell fade, and you look and you hear the noises of the.
Better not be the damn gator again, I swear to God.
Sorry, that was too vague. No, like the creaking of the raft and
Okay.
your allies' breaths, and you see the traces in the water again. But you're a fair way through.
Do you think we're far enough, or could you cast that again
I
today?
could if it was desperate.
I don't think there's any need for it just yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it if we didn't have need for it.
Just carries on then.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was incredibly helpful. Sariel, thank you.
Really.
Thank
really
you.
useful.
I've not done that before. I'm glad it was useful.
You did marvellous.
You continue punting on. The air growing slightly cooler, but still thick and warm and moist.
Enjoy your sweaty coat.
Enjoy your sweaty face.
Has anyone thought about Ren's tan lines?
I'm still.
The fan artist tab.
Ren finally takes the mask off and he's just got like Batman mask.
Well, don't you say you usually have like a cloth?
Yeah, my whole
up
face
on
is
So
the
he's
tab?
gonna have one
Just the
strip.
forehead, really tanned.
Amazing.
Oh, and you're ginger as well, so you're just going to be like burnt.
Oh boy.
It's the real reason for covering your whole face.
You hear the ambient sounds of the swamp, the crunching and the moving of the creatures as you move through, the steady dripping of moisture, water coming off the leaves and hitting the mulch and loam and soil, and also dripping off the water. Occasionally the shriek and call of birds and creatures, the ever-present buzzing of insects around you, and as you get deeper in, you find yourself more often slapping and finding them on you, and they irritate you. They don't.
Except for Astra.
Except for Astra.
Take my
You
blood.
just like feed.
Yeah, you find them on you. You brush them off.
Brush is not going to hit them.
You press on. The light begins to shift and change, and where before there were these sort of beams breaking through the canopy and illuminating the swamp, it doesn't come from above anymore. It comes light from the side, and it's this golden light which just dapples and splays through and reflects off everything.
Nice.
The buzzing of the insects increases at this time, and you feel it's coming close to evening.
Are we getting closer to the some type of
anywhere?
shore? Yeah.
Well, there's shores
all
on
over
either
the
side.
place.
There's lots of little like islands and patches of trees where you can climb into them and stuff. It doesn't look like there's much. You see the very occasional patch of like earth and ground, but it's pretty rare. But
Are we still going in the right direction? Does anybody know?
Flip out the compass. Seem to be.
yeah, you're still heading northwest.
I have no idea how. Hang on. I get out the map and I look at the lines that everybody helped me with getting the mangrove swamps, because the lizard helped me, and then additionally the rangers
Yeah.
helped, I think. And
Interesting.
I measure the distances we've travelled, and have a look at the mangrove swamp. How extensive is the distance of the like? How big is it between where we got into the water and?
So you've been travelling for a day.
Yep.
Through here. Probably a little under halfway through until the rough area of where Sanskrit is.
So, if our map is correct and our distance calculation is correct, we're halfway there. Maybe one more day of travel. We should find somewhere to rest safely. D&D Beyond
If you make a
having
perception
day.
check, because you mentioned you were looking out for something specifically.
Fuck me. Oh. That would be a 22.
22, okay. Looking out specifically for architecture with the marks of snakes on them, and you keep an eye out on both banks as you're punting and not punting, and looking out, and something that catches your eye in a stream which breaks away from where you are, so basically going down a fork, you would have to head basically east and then take a little detour and come back. But you see something that, just in silhouette, breaks up the shape of trees and swamps and natural lines. Something that looks like a wall, or just a very rigid, straight line, but with serrations. Sort of half leaning out of the woods and into the water.
But too far away to look for the symbols.
Yeah, you basically just see
Yeah.
the outline. As you're coming up to a fork, you look down the other way and see something that resembles structure of some kind.
Potentially off there is one of the temples they mentioned, but
The
They
ones
also
they
said to
told us to
avoid.
stay away.
that's what I mean. We don't go that way.
Agreed.
Okay, we stay on our path and we avoid structures.
Great.
So where are we going to stay tonight?
Does anyone have some kind of spell that could create something we can sit on in a tree? Because that seems like the safest option. Some kind of web or I don't know.
So how thick are the branches and the sort of the trunks of these trees?
Well, they're very low hanging, so it's about maybe 2.5, maybe 3 meters before they branch out completely, and it's just a web of low hanging branches.
Could I potentially use mold earth to like make a little, not like a
like a
snake,
more of
a bank,
more of
yeah.
a bank, yeah.
Probably. Yeah, it would take a while because you'd have to pull out all the there is earth and mud.
Yeah,
You could use that, pull it out, and collate some.
to make it more into like a bed.
Yeah, and then you'd probably have to use shape water, and you could pull the moisture out of it
Mm.
and dry it out, and then use the drier earth to create like a platform in
Yeah.
the trees. It could be done. It would take some time. Probably take half an hour to do it well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you guys can wait for half an hour, I could try and create us something to stand on and a little bit above water to spend the night.
I think go for it.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
So start
Yeah.
molding the earth and
Hang on. Before we stop here entirely,
Oh,
if you can see those structures nearby, should we do another half hour
Yes.
through the water?
Sure.
yeah. You
I
have
don't
a
want to be
point.
yeah.
anywhere near those things.
You're right.
I'm gonna
Okay.
keep punting ahead.
You
though.
keep going down the river that you're on, and now that you're all looking out for it, you spot one more thing. A chunk of stone, which seems to be like tube shaped or like pillar shaped.
Snake shaped.
Yeah, basically.
Sneeple.
Just poking out of the surface of the water. A light grey stone on the other side of the bank to you. Probably about 2-3 meters wide, just cresting out. And as your raft moves past, the water laps against it. You get close and you see it's like a toppled pillar of some sort. How long it's been there, you could not know.
Does it look like it's of the same architecture as the thing that Cassian spotted?
That was just a silhouette with how far it was.
Okay.
Does it have snakes on it? Like carved into the thing, like they mentioned.
Snarving.
You look over and there's only a little bit protruding out of the water, but as it's on like the other side of the bank, you can't see any inscriptions on it from here.
Let's
Shall we
just
push us that way? Slightly?
Would you want to see it?
I just want to know whether we should keep going for another couple of hours before we stop, or whether we can stop
Right.
soon.
Pushes the raft closer to it then.
Okay. You get up and the water laps against it. It's covered in moss and algae, and where it's not completely bedded down in water, you won't able to see it because it's just completely overgrown with vines and branches. And
I will take out my dagger and try and clear a bit of it off to look at the stone.
scrape it off. It seems unadorned.
Is it big enough for us to stop on?
You could stand, like one person could probably stand
Okay,
on
so
it.
it's not like a place for camp, it's just a...
No, probably not.
Okay.
No, there's like a meter or two sticking out of the water.
I can't see anything, but maybe we should still keep...
Pull more of the moss back and it sloughs off easily. And it seems like hewn stone, but you don't see any inscriptions on it.
We just keep going. It's not a problem.
I think so.
I spent most of this trip just at the back of the boat playing with music. I've got all the strength.
We do another half hour, and if it looks more dangerous, we come back here. Does that sound
Yeah.
good?
sounds
Yeah.
reasonable.
Mhm. Okay. You press on. You see no more, and you find a point where there's a wide enough sort of islet where the river forks, and the ground is spongy enough but soft enough to stop on. You lash the raft to one of the low-hanging roots. Step off. Boblem begins.
Sorry, I'm just like.
Batman begins.
You see him close his eyes and look out in the direction where the sun is just setting. Lift up his hands, focuses, and this gobbet of mud, 5 feet, just titanic, it's like a 5 foot cube, this huge amount comes out, and he controls it, pulls it out of the water itself, and you see the water ripple and even out again. Controls, moves it over to the side of the bank and drops it down. Spends a long time, you can see, pulling just buckets and buckets and streams of water out of it.
I can help with prestidigitation to help with that as well, if I saw he was doing that.
Prestidigitation would dry something. This is, Boblem can do 5 foot of water at a time.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, that's for like drying smalling things. But yeah, it's a much larger one. And separates it out. And then pulls out another and spends 10 minutes taking out mud and drying it, essentially. Once it's there in this sort of big, dry, heavy cake of mud, concentrates again, and you see it lift up. It rises into the branches of the trees, and then hardens, denses, and compacts, and you see it dry. And a metre or so up the tree is just this wide dish, about a foot thick, of just caked on mud, with the roots intertwining completely between it, so forming this rough but dry, solid surface, probably about like a 10 foot diameter ring, essentially. So you'd be sitting in it, and there's like the low canopy above you, so you wouldn't be able to stand up, you could sit in it comfortably, and the branches that come up and poke through the system would form almost like a fence completely around you, and you're able to like break 2 or 3 of the branches off to make a little entrance where you crawl into this little
secret architect.
this little den.
Boblem's treehouse.
Make sure that the raft is on
land.
as well.
Yeah.
Can we bring it into
As-
the shelter with us?
No.
Just
No, no.
Meanwhile, as they're doing that and Boblem's building this incredible structure, I'm just going to patrol this like spit of the land, see if there's anything else like dangerous, any signs of other creatures being here.
You find some big spiders.
That's me, not Renard.
But they don't seem to bother you.
Okay. In
You
which
leave
case,
you leave their webs alone, and they glare at you with their red eyes.
in which case I just sit down as I reach the end of it and just give my thanks to Melora.
Okay. You reach out and find an instant connection with Melora. It's as if the colours and the sounds and the air just responds to you instantly. This is a place very, very connected to her. It's the heart of nature.
Melora, if you're listening, thank you for keeping us safe so far, and I ask you please just take us safely to Hansgrohe.
You feel a warm wind just blow over you, and a petal just drifts into your face. And
Yeah, very content. I will stay there for a good 10-15 minutes and at peace with that.
Okay.
I'm gonna take out the old journal again, flip back to the page with alarm on it, and begin just walking around the exterior of the thing that Boblem's made, and include the whether of the raft is in that.
That would come
An
into
alarm
it, yeah, because it's a 20
as
foot
far around us as I can.
Yeah, that would easily cover it.
And then I would like to sit down and read some more of my book on arcane foci.
Okay.
Yeah, more into the same thing as before, but also, if I can, anything about physical side effects of using arcane foci.
Okay. You find that repeated exposure can leave scarring, especially on channeling destructive magic. It can leave scarring along the hands, from the voice box, from the eyes even. It varies by spell, but it includes diagrams of long practicing sorcerers and magic users covered in almost like similar to the pattern you saw on a ship of like veins or tree branches snaking up their neck and long-lasting scars, and the mental fatigue of channeling magic for one's whole life can have a lasting impact, but the physical appearances and effects are what are more heavily studied and better documented.
Is there anything on it literally like changing a person's form?
In that it mentions scarification, yes, but it has nothing
Nothing
else.
beyond
It
that.
seems to be pretty exclusively on humans, you notice, and it doesn't really mention anything besides damage to the body.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Good. You sit in your little hut.
Business.
Hashtag business bag business.
Bag business.
Okay.
Journal business. Sing a little song. Oh no, you get 8 hit points of like whatever healing you need.
Oh, I think I was full health.
Yeah, but Astra still said that he would heal you every
Oh
night.
shit, yeah, okay,
Aw.
thanks.
You sing in Sylvan and you feel it go out into the forest.
Can I feel anything on my back?
The lingering effect, the warmth, does last for a while. And your shoulder has been feeling looser and less tight restricted since this.
Listen, Astra made a promise.
You don't
Just
break
didn't go and have to
those.
go and ask him. I didn't realise he would just do it.
Oh.
In fact, actually, yeah, I'll sit with Astra because I've just realised I haven't spoken to you since the Manticore. I suddenly become very awkward. I'm so glad you're still with us,
Me too.
and I'm sorry
I know.
that happened to you. I'll just look back to my book.
Elyse, I trust you. At the end of the day, you have to trust me as well, and the rest of us.
I do trust you guys.
Don't just run off.
I'll just keep reading my book.
Yeah, I finally returned to Boblem's amazing hut.
That's
Very much the most at peace that I've looked so far.
That's very impressive.
Ah, thank you. I'm mighty tired. But you were very impressive yourself.
Well, not like this.
I mean, maybe if you... I could teach you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Okay.
Maybe you should take the first rest then.
I mean, if y'all don't mind.
You have been
No,
working hard.
You work so hard.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
He kind of blushes because it's pink.
Yeah.
So many compliments.
He's just a boy.
Okay. Light dims and darkness falls. Who's taking the first watch?
I don't mind taking
I
the
will.
first watch.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll go second.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries.
Mm.
Darkness
Go
falls.
whenever.
and the swamps become stiller and quieter. You hear the occasional calling and shrieking of something, and then make a perception check.
is that both of us?
No, Astra.
We're about to mark long rest now.
18.
Okay. You hear faintly but recognisably sounds of Sylvan singing in the distance. You hear a sad song, but only... Well, you hear a sad melody, but you can't fully make out the words. It's only barely more than a whisper. It's broken up through the trees and interrupted by the birds and the creatures.
We're gonna have a walk around perimeter, see if everything's okay.
Do you want me to come with you?
If you'd like. But maybe they need someone to keep a watch while I do that.
I'll stay here.
You head out and follow the sound of the singing, and it becomes clearer. You hear words and notes of loss, help and despair and sorrow, and you hear the word sapling. You get closer and you follow it for about 10 minutes, not leaving the landmass they're on. It's quite big. So you get to a patch where some of the trees open up a little bit and you hear the singing clearly. It's dark, you can obviously see in the dark, and it's all around you. And you can't see anyone. But the song continues. It's haunting, it sounds like someone's crying while they sing.
Very tentatively, like, join in the melody.
Okay. Once you start singing, once you make a noise, it fades off. Do you continue singing what was said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Continue for a few seconds, and then you hear a sounds like the splintering of wood. And you look to your left, and nothing. You look to your right, and it's just the tree. And then you see the tree peel away from itself. You see a figure step out of the tree. Texture, their skin, the texture of bark, and these wide eyes, this wooden skin, the hair, which is just vines and leaves, just trailed down its face, and
why am I so curious?
An arm pokes out, and then a shoulder, and then something steps out, and just softly illuminated in the moonlight, you see a humanoid figure, but their skin like bark, and their hair is vines, their eyes glowing dimly with this yellow light, and says to you in Sylvan, "Who are you?
I'm a
I'll
traveller.
sing you my song."
I'm a traveller. My name is Verdant Astra.
Who brought you here?
I'm travelling with friends.
What do you seek?
I don't know. We seek a destination, but I don't know where the destination is.
Why do you sing my song?
Because it was beautiful and sad. It touched me in my heart.
Are you saying it beautiful? It kind of leans back a little bit. It was a song of grief and loss, and it was mine own to sing.
I apologise.
Are you here to help?
Do you require help? I can certainly try.
My sapling was taken from me.
By who?
Men. Hunters. Explorers. Treasure seekers.
When was it?
Century? 2? I don't know.
I'm so incredibly sorry for your loss.
Are you here to help?
I can try.
Looks over to off in the distance and just I hear him singing still. To the wind and the rain and the leaves and the water. He calls for me. I can't find him. Are you here to help me?
I can certainly try.
They trapped him. He can't get out. And I can't get him out.
Where is he?
Shrine to the west. Trapped below ground and stone. You hear them creaking as this will merge half back into the tree. And shake their head and come back out, and you get this odd smell, the smell of long rotting wood. You get the sense they probably haven't moved in a while. A long time. Just looks you over again with this expression of part sorrow and disdain, part anger and part just despondence. Not for mortals to help. Many pass through here. Many don't listen to the song, let alone come to see.
I hope one day that your song can be happy again.
Can you help?
I'll certainly try. To the west.
To the west. Where the river splits into 3. Stay straight. Be careful. And the tree just weaves around it. And its head moves back and opens up, and the vines just drift again. The bark becomes as the surface of the tree.
So just has a very quiet moment and then heads back.
You make your way back to the camp. In the time, you felt something broach your barrier. You look out, and you see what appears to be another snake. This time not giant, but still relatively large, like a normal sized boa constrictor.
Just a boa constrictor.
As opposed to a giant one.
Not an anaconda.
Make its way through your barrier, and it alerts you instantly. And you watch it wind itself around the tree and then
Just have a dagger
carry
ready.
on moving.
Gonna stab a snake.
Put the dagger back down. And I sit in the entrance of the hut and just kind of, can I even do that in this chair? Draw my knees up to my chest. And just sat there like, I am keeping lookout, but still finally allowing myself to feel some things.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
Okay. After a short while, well, no, after a long while, Astra returns.
Tiefling's my way through.
You see me kind of like rub my face as I turn to you and pull my face down. Fucking table. Did you find anything?
I did, actually.
What?
One of the trees spoke to me.
Are these the dryads that
Potentially.
you told us about? Demandrius told us about.
Potentially.
What did they say?
That men have stolen its saplings and its family, I'm assuming. But he can they can still hear their song in the distance.
Mm.
And said I would try and help.
Did they say where?
To the west, underground. No one deserves to be taken away from family.
No, they really don't. I guess we'll talk to the others about it in the morning. Did they give you any more information than that?
Not particularly.
Did they describe what kind of place this underground is? Because my first thought is those structures we were told to stay away from.
Deep. You should get some rest.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm good.
Probably. But you should also get some rest.
Whenever Cassian and Ren are ready.
Are those still gonna keep watch that?
We should probably go to bed. Astra's gonna lean against Elyse very gently. While they finish doing their watch. Not gonna say anything, but just very like camaraderie sort of lean.
Yeah, she also doesn't say anything, but is kind of comforted by his presence, but still feels incredibly guilty.
Yeah. You wake the others. You take your sleep. You two wake. It's still warm. It's humid. The swamps are very much still alive.
Time for a very different watch.
Cool.
Sit back and just enjoy it.
I look for a low-hanging branch and whip myself into it. So I've got a nice vantage point
Spider Cassian.
and just kind of like let my legs dangle off and sort of bemusedly look around the swamp.
Yeah. You can see on one side, a few feet away, the surface of the water, which glints this just this solid, just black onyx, daunting expanse of water. To the other side, in shades of grey, you see this landmass of roots and tree and leaves and mulch just disappear into obscurity. In the middle, you see Renard. Make a perception check, I think.
14.
7.
You see an awkward situation.
You don't see any other creatures approach you. You see the occasional dark shape drifting down the river, but
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out the amulet of Pelor and just kind of.
yeah, it's like
a little bit.
it's circular, it's brass, it's maybe a couple of inches.
Mhm.
It's one complete circle.
Yeah.
And then what seems to be a dragon eating its own tail.
Like a new rubber or
Yeah,
something
exactly.
situation. Just sort of let it dangle and examine it for a little while.
What's
Looks
that?
Well made.
Pulled it off the magic dwarf back at the bandit camp.
Is it magical?
It's religious. Pelor
Yes.
tosses it to Ren.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
recognise it.
Has a look at it.
The golden dragon of burning Pelor. You recognise it.
Admittedly, I don't know much about many of the gods. Didn't really care to learn.
Pelor isn't one of mine, but you know he has something to do with the weather.
Well, good for him.
Has he got no interest in the gods?
Well, what do they do for me? Why should I care?
More than you could possibly know. Wow, how incredibly close-minded of you.
Well, people are privy to their beliefs, and I can respect that. I
Not
just
just their beliefs, we feel their influence.
and good for you.
Astra just
But-
rolls over and
May I reiterate? Why should I care?
I suppose, why should you care?
Precisely.
Kiss, kiss.
I'm going to reapply some of my henna while I'm up in this tree. Add on some more designs.
With the
and go-
moisture, some of it was starting to fade a little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm gonna go a little bit further up my elbow this time.
So,
Are you going to insist on conversation now, are you?
would you rather be sat in silence for hours?
I don't particularly care. What do you want to say?
Never mind.
No, if you have something to say, spit it out.
I thought seeing as we were travelling together, we could converse.
Converse away.
You know what, I don't even want to. No, actually, at what point in your life did you become so stuck up?
I don't know what you mean.
And I asked you before, and you didn't really give me a straight answer. Why are you travelling with us? We'd be fine without you. If there's anyone here I thought was not particularly worth having along with us, it would be you.
Would you think you're fine without me? After I killed, the rat man, the dwarf, the manticore that was about to kill Astra and Boblem?
You act like you're the only person who's killed anything around here.
No, I know I'm not, but I'm just saying.
I'm sure you're capable.
More than you could ever know, my friend. Just leering out of this tree at you.
Sassy little monkey.
Okay. Don't call me friend.
Oh, you know I don't mean it.
It's none of my business.
I mean, why does anyone have to really have a reason to do anything? Some people just go places and see what happens to them.
Right.
I mean, you don't seem as invested in this as you may have said from the start necessarily. If
the money's not what you're after,
I'm not interested in money.
no, this is just a fun little expedition on the way to something bigger for Great Renard.
Okay. Make whatever assumptions you want.
I intend to.
Some of us aren't afraid of hard work.
Some of us aren't afraid of a lot of things.
Watch who the fuck you think you're speaking to. I'm going to climb down out of the camp and just walk up the spit of land again.
Okay. Okay. You find yourselves undisturbed. Anger washes off you and it takes you a few minutes. You find peace and calm once more. While you're out there, you look and you don't see anything approaching.
Whatever. I'm going to try and walk as far away from the campsite as I can.
Okay, okay. You keep going for maybe 100 meters before it starts to turn round and bank round. You get that this is a fairly large expanse of sort of earth and where the ground has come together and all the trees have formed together to form again like a little island in the swamps, and you find yourself curving around. If you keep on walking, or do you...
As it starts to curve around, I'm curious, so I keep walking a little longer.
Okay, okay. It keeps this slow, gentle curve after a point. You get the impression you will end back up at the camp at some point, but you couldn't estimate how long.
I decide to keep walking, keeping an eye out in the darkness for anything.
Okay. Make a survival check.
8.
You walk and you walk and you walk and it feels like you should have been back by now. And you keep walking and walking. It's still dark and you look and you recognise the point where it first started turning off.
Mm-hmm.
But you haven't gone past the camp.
Okay. So...
Yes, the one character without dark vision goes on the light.
I just touch one of the trees and light it up.
Okay.
I pull off my glass and I just, brush the tree and the tree lights up.
It illuminates the area and you see bright light shining out. You hear the skittering of birds and insects, and you light it up. You see not a light open up in another area, but maybe the clouds parted and a beam of moonlight shines down to your right about 10 meters off in the distance and illuminates the two trees come together and almost form an arch.
Just giving it one more go, I'm going to walk down this bank and see if I come back to the tree that I've lit up.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. Okay.
Ren dies alone in the forest.
15.
15, okay. You start walking that way and then... No, I should check it out. You trace your steps back to where that sort of archway is formed and look down, perfectly illuminated by this spot of moonlight, and swear you hear movement beyond it. Steps and sounds of singing and bells, and then you step forward and you catch yourself and your hand on the tree, and you find that you've unbuckled your sword. You're about to drop it and you look at yourself and you gather your wits and look back at the arch and down back at your sword, and then you look and there's no arch. This patch of moonlight is gone and the trees are separate from each other. The call of a bird behind you and to the right catches your attention. You look back and you see the outline of the hut, the mud hut you had made. You hear a very faint whisper just at the corner of your ear and your hair stands up on the back of your neck. You get the impression you very nearly went somewhere you shouldn't have.
I turn on my heel and I stride back towards the camp.
You hear tree branches breaking, and the form of Renard appears at the branch.
Very stealthy of you.
I'm just going to climb in and not talk to Cassian.
Ah, the old silent treatment. Someone's having a very bad night.
Oh, and as I sit down and turn away, just a hand motion, and like the light will stop on the tree.
Oh, yeah.
Sits back down and silently makes a hand motion.
Yeah.
Puts glove back on.
Okay. You finish off the rest of his shift in silence. Light slowly filters through the tree branches before softly illuminating the entire swamp in pale greens and... Sorry. Yeah. Morning comes and your allies rouse.
We should keep moving.
What a beautiful morning.
Good morning!
Boblem stretches. Boy, do I feel rested. How about you?
Oh, after all that hard work you did yesterday, Boblem, you deserve the rest.
Oh, thank you. How about you guys? You all rested?
Oh, that was an excellent night, I must say.
Oh, you're in a good mood.
Oh, look at my arms! I did some more designs. It
Wow.
is lovely.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you very much, of course.
Does it mean anything? Or do you just freehand it?
It's just something that my father taught me.
I don't think anything he does has any meaning behind it.
Well, wouldn't you like to know?
Are you two arguing again?
No! Perish the thought, Sariel.
Would I have gotten, even just like, would I know that someone of our allies had left the alarm circle during the night? Or
I don't think it works that way.
I don't think it does.
I think it's only when someone who you
it's
register is
only
not
then.
safe.
Okay, never mind.
Not safe for work.
You got spooked by one snake.
Not safe for snake.
Not
snake for work.
That Renard seems spooked or not?
I don't know. How are you?
Depends.
You can't see his face or his
Ah,
mouth.
that's fair.
So same as
So
always.
he's
So same as always.
Same as always, so he's just
normally
quiet.
kind of broody.
It's just Renard.
We only noticed that you're in a really good mood.
No, breakfast comes and you're able to prepare some rations in the morning. And
Shame we had to throw that meat away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of a waste, wasn't it?
Rude gator.
I hope that he enjoyed all that salt.
I can get food from the land. You
I
don't
think
need to
I
eat
just
me.
realised I haven't been keeping track of my rations.
oh, I'm not gonna track rations
Okay.
unless
we
you're.
bought loads of them. So
Yeah,
Okay.
you have loads, and unless you're like crossing the seas or a desert, I'm not gonna track rations
Yeah.
because
Essentially, yeah, we've
yeah,
got
you have
that-
fucking
that
loads,
outlander
and
things that can
you have
find
2
food.
druids and a vegan. You're gonna be able to find food.
Any vegan options out in this swamp? Do you have anything gluten free?
Glowing moss.
I've got a bit of a request of everybody.
Yeah?
I met somebody last night who needs our help.
You met somebody last night?
Yes, one of the dryads.
You
I
met a
think
dryad?
that's what you said it might have been.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it sounded like what I keep forgetting his name. It sounded like what
Demandrus.
Demandrus described.
The thing that
Dryad.
Demandrus told us was tricky?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it. It was just.
He mainly
It's just
said not to
Astra.
burn the
What
forest.
was it? What did you encounter?
There was a sad song on the wind that I heard. So I followed it and it spoke about the words spoke about this poor creature's saplings being taken away many years ago by men. But that it could still hear the song of one of its people in the west, underground.
I don't think we should trust anything around here.
Absolutely not. We were literally told they are tricky and not to be trusted.
Is that what the mantra said? Well, he mainly said to not set things on fire.
Yes, because they're tricky. The lizards
Did you
warned us
respect-
about fey creatures that lurked in the trees.
But if you respect them, they don't.
Any level of respect doesn't counter the fact that someone might be lying to you.
Did it feel like they were lying to you? Could you tell that?
I'm sorry, Astra, I don't think it's safe.
Agreed.
They seem genuine to you.
Yeah, no, it wasn't lying to me. I know it wasn't.
What do you want us to do?
It wanted us to find its saplings in some kind of place underground,
To the west.
which I immediately thought could be one of those places.
But we were also told not to go.
Yeah.
We're a day out of Sanskrit. Do we want to spend any more time in these mangroves than we have to?
Maybe we could go to Sanskrit and
I don't
get
know.
some help or equipment or something that could help us tackle this kind of thing
Yes,
more efficiently.
as long as we try. I'd rather do that than not.
Yeah.
Because wherever the river splits into three, then we need to take the centre.
What direction do we need to travel to get to Sanskrit? Are we also going west?
Northwest.
Okay.
It's kind of in the direction we're going.
It's off our
In the
course.
way. Oh.
And I'm somewhat concerned that if we detour off the route we know we should be going in,
Then we won't be able to find our way back again.
Exactly. We'll look briefly.
I think if we're going in sort of that direction, we can see if we can see anything that looks like what the Dryad described to you. If we make it to Sanskrit, then maybe we can enlist some help there or buy some equipment that will help us.
I wouldn't be able to sleep well knowing that I'd ignored this creature's cries for help. But I'd prefer that as long as we try. I'm happy to go to Sanskrit first.
Just please bear in mind that you can't trust everything that's said in this area.
And please bear in mind that I do know how to trust people and how not to. And give me some respect in that.
Fine, we're heading somewhat that direction if we see something.
I'll be happy to help. I don't like the thought of people being taken away from their family.
Exactly.
Let's get on the raft and see what we see.
You make your way out of the raft, step down, gather your provisions, out of the hut, onto the raft, and push off. Brighter, crisper morning. Feels like where you are, the canopy's a little bit thinner, more light is poking through. You push off in the northwest direction. As you're making your way down, is there anything in particular anyone's doing?
I'm gonna
Still
keep
looking
it
at the snake symbols.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Make
keep
a-
in like a real heavy look out and using my passive skill of memorizing where I'm going.
Okay.
Putting my back into the punting today.
Okay.
I'm going to ask, among all the things we found, was there anything that might have been arcane? Because I could see what it is.
Oh, take out the symbol of Pelor that Cassian threw at me last night.
Oh, ritual cast.
Okay.
Identify.
You don't get any magical presence from it.
Okay. Nothing. Give it back. What is that anyway?
I don't know, Cassian pulled it off the dwarf at the bandit camp.
What is
It's
it?
the symbol of
Something
Pelor.
from some religion?
Yes.
Pelor is very heavily worshipped in the east.
It's to do with sun worship.
Oh, would I
is it?
have... Would I have...
So with what?
With sun
Yeah,
worship.
you'd probably have
Oh,
recognised.
okay.
If not the symbol, the name Pelor. You know, the god of light and sun and agriculture.
Boblem kind of sits next to Astra and goes, but quietly, so the others can hear. If they won't help you find the saplings, I will. Like I said, nobody deserves to be taken away from their family.
Exactly. Thank you, Boblem.
He nods.
I'm not going to leave it like that.
Okay. So if you're looking at, make a perception check.
Why? 7.
You don't see anything.
I'm too busy looking at my arms like, oh my god, I did such a good job.
It's so even.
Pretty.
But a few hours in, heading northwest, fairly uneventful. Given that you're more attuned to the sounds of Sylvan, you recognise what is the water rushing and the wind whistling through the trees and what isn't. because the two are very similar. Those two are very similar to Sylvan, and you recognise notes being sung, which you hear at the same time.
Does it sound similar to the song from last night or different?
It sounds similar, but it's not the same.
Can we all hear it, or can only Astra hear it?
You can hear it, but
we just don't
I guess
understand
to us it doesn't sound like much.
it sounds like wind whistling through the trees.
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
a howl at some point. It feels sadder and scared.
Which direction is it in?
So you're heading northwest, so it'd be on your left.
To the west.
Yes.
To the west, to the west. I think I can hear it.
What?
What was that?
I think I can hear the other dryad.
Near here?
The sapling.
That way. And like Astra turns and like faces directly where you can hear the song coming from, like, really trying to concentrate on it.
Yeah. You keep punting about another 100 meters before there's the option for the river to split. One going slightly more west, one going pretty much the track that you're on.
This is what you described to me.
No, this isn't a three-point split.
okay.
That's quite. But it's this. I can hear its song that way.
Are we still going in the direction of Sanskrit at this point, if we follow this?
If you go west, you'd be going slightly off.
Take out the compass. Try and memorize the surroundings,
Mm-hmm.
and then just push us that way.
The raft turns course, goes west. You both hear it slightly more vivid coming through with the cracks of trees and animals moving through the undergrowth. These almost cries. You move down closer and closer, and you're going about another kilometre when the stream opens up into a river with three prongs.
Straight. Keep going straight.
Fine. We can. Fine.
We're only doing this after what we agreed upon.
You
I
can
said
hear
we'd
it.
look.
We agree with help.
After we went to
You
Sanskrit.
can hear how sad it is. I know you understand Sylvan.
Can you hear it?
No.
Insight check.
Insight check!
Make a deception check, and make an insight check.
25.
13.
You can't hear it, obviously. Maybe it's only you. Maybe because you had this connection with this creature.
God, it's breaking my heart. I need to...
This is really affecting you, isn't it? Should we at least take a look? We don't have to go inside whatever it is.
After
Scout
everything
it out.
Astra's been through, we're doing this.
Yeah.
We're just looking.
Alright. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You've done so much for us.
It goes down through the main centre stream. Moving down further and further. It goes for about 500 metres before it comes to like a soft bank, almost. Okay, and this is the point where it gets louder and probably the closest point to land.
Yeah, so steps off
Mhm.
the raft onto the land.
Okay. It comes in fits and bursts. Like wind rustling through something, it's not constant.
Following it. Not really talking because I'm trying to listen so hard on it. So
Mhm.
everyone else just sees Astra like looking around, listening and focusing forwards.
Yeah, okay.
Looking very distraught at the, like what he's hearing.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna follow like
Yeah.
real close to Astra, and I'm gonna, because I can see that he's obviously like trying to look for a specific thing, so I'm just gonna try and keep a general lookout
Okay, okay.
because he's so singularly focused.
Okay, you step on the back, you follow the occasional sounds drifting through and push your way through the undergrowth and the trees, and then you walk for about 5 minutes, this sort of half jog, half scampering through, and the rest of you follow?
I stop to lash the raft
Yeah.
up properly and
Okay.
then follow.
Sarah was going to be more towards the back, and
Okay.
as they're walking, Druid crafting little white flowers behind them, like
Okay.
sort of luminescent white flowers
Yeah.
to sort of mark where they've gone.
Yeah, okay.
Smart.
They appear on the ground and they clearly mark the area. Okay.
Just walk that I've got Astra in my sights.
Okay. You push your way through and come to a wall, a curtain of vine. Put your hand across it and push it. And there's a small clearing. And you see what is clearly a toppled stone pillar across, preventing any growth of roots or trees, and you look beyond it and there's structure, walls and stairs going down into the ground.
And the voice is definitely coming from down there.
You listen and very faintly just a whisper of a cry from that direction.
They're down there. It's exactly as she said, it's underground.
Do we see any carvings of snakes on the
Make an
structure?
investigation check.
Yeah, I've been looking out for this a lot.
Okay,
One,
yeah.
two.
A 2, so good.
12.
Okay. You see carvings in a language. You two both actually recognise it. Seems to be enchantments essentially binding this stone to the ground. As in, there was enchantments initially built into these pillars to keep them standing upright. With it there fallen down, this must be old for these enchantments to have worn off or to have been knocked over.
It's written in Druidic.
Yeah.
Can you read it?
Yeah, it's an enchantment that bound the pillars to the ground here, but
It seems almost, the language there seems almost like a gate or a door.
it's like the entranceway or a gate or something.
Is it dangerous?
Is it?
Is it good? Is it? I can tell.
What's that you? You don't detect any magical presence coming off it. Any enchantment is long gone.
No, it's not enchanted anymore. If it was,
And it's like a temple.
not necessarily.
Like a gateway?
A cell.
Bleak.
Doesn't
Carry
say.
on.
Yeah, you see no inscriptions of snakes. No mention of them.
There's no mention of snakes though.
You step up and find a slab of stone and look beyond it, and it goes down probably about 10 meters, and you see at the end what looks to be a heavy stone door.
Okay. I'm just going to go down the stairs and sort of look around the
Okay.
door.
Okay.
Like hands on it, like, hello.
It's
Wow.
completely featureless, light grey stone, but covered in moss, algae and vines, and almost completely grown over.
Is there
Looks-
anything here in Druidic? Anything that you know that can open the door, or...?
Do we look up? Yeah, we look around.
You don't see any writing.
No, Sariel's taking a few steps back.
Oh, it's-
Yeah.
I don't like this.
I'm suddenly very
Look up.
like seeing the steps going down into the underground is suddenly very wary. I'll follow Astra down.
Yeah,
Can
Boblem
I-
follows as well.
You
Can
go.
I-
You go.
Cast
I'll go, don't
identify
worry.
on the door. See if
That's
it's
10 minutes?
enchanted.
You can, yeah, you can take 10 minutes.
I'm with you,
It doesn't
Sariel.
seem to be
This is
enchanted
foolish.
anymore.
I'm going
I
to try
don't
and
know
use
about foolish,
just,
but-
like, focus
Dangerous,
on the
perhaps,
door
then.
itself and
Mhm.
just focus my thaumaturgy to see if it's unlocked to open it.
Okay. It seems like a lock, in a sense, as in there's something preventing it being opened, has now rotted away. You sense the presence of long dead wood barricaded against this.
Mm.
And then you sense something on the other side, and then you look and you see something barricaded, well, the remnants of a barricade on this side as well. Like holders to keep it closed.
So what are we looking at?
They were keeping something in.
There's barricades on the other side as well.
I don't
You
know if this is
said
wise.
you could hear it.
I can.
Can you communicate with it from out here?
I can try.
I'm wary that whatever they were keeping in could be dangerous,
Mm.
or it could be populated with something like the wreckage was. And
I can hear its voice.
Can you try and communicate?
call out to it.
I just don't want us to walk into
A trap.
another situation. Yeah.
Just, I guess, in gentle Sylvan, he's gonna sing one of his mum's songs
Mhm.
about, like, caring and about, like, his sister.
Mm-hmm. Okay. After it finishes, you hear silence and then No words, but just a melody being repeated back to you of your song.
There are people here that want to help you.
You just hear just a very, very soft, very muffled, just a distant cry.
Is there any way for you to get close to the door?
A minute passes, no response.
I want to help you try and get back to your family.
Yeah, no response.
Astra, what is it saying?
Nothing, it's just crying.
Can we hear these guys from where we are above ground?
Yeah.
We're just down some steps.
I'm gonna walk into view of where I can see Astra, and in his head, he will hear, in Sylvan, in as much as I can get to the voice of the melody as possible, you should leave.
Okay.
This isn't a safe place for you.
Make a performance check. Make an insight check.
Oh,
23.
17.
You hear that in your head. Out of nowhere.
Like suddenly really clear.
You hear it in your head as opposed to with your ears.
How are you doing this?
Is there any response?
you say that out loud? Or in Sylvan?
Just again, like not seeing him respond to it, just... This is dangerous. You need to go.
I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you get back to your family.
You hear the cry cut in again, both.
What's going on, Astra? Keep us in the loop. Are they still talking?
It's strange. It's talking in my head, and also I can hear it crying still down there.
Is that something the Dryad did before?
No.
Can dryads do that?
I don't know, I guess.
Don't know.
What's it saying?
It's telling me it's dangerous here and that we should leave, but it's so sad.
I turn and I walk up the steps.
Okay.
What's going on?
Astra is communicating with it.
What's
Getting
it
mixed
saying?
signals. I don't know, it's not repeating everything, but something about it's telling us to leave, but also to come inside. It's sad. I don't understand, but the door was barricaded. The barricades rotted away.
So, how is it still in there?
I don't know.
I'm just going to stay with Astra and put a hand on his back and not say anything.
Okay.
You said you understand the druidic, was it?
Yes. Is it like, could it be related to like any sort of binding spell, like binding something inside, or, I mean, or is there more druidic down in the underground part?
The spell, the enchantment, seemed more along the lines of keeping this structure rooted and stable and firm and strong over the centuries.
Is it possible to walk around this structure at all? Climb on this structure, anything like that?
You can walk on surface level because it's like surface drops down to stairs which lead down. So you could walk up to here.
Would you walk with me and see if there's any more outside?
Outside, yes. We'll follow him.
Okay. It seems like normal packed earth. The trees grow again over the top of it.
Nothing else written here.
It seems like all we can do is walk away or try and get inside.
Can I, like, being a druid, sort of reach out any proficiency that I'd have, like, into the surrounding area? Is that a thing I can do?
Yeah, I'd say reasonably.
Like
You
a sort
can
of
reach
insight
out
check
and
on the
feel
area?
how wide the area goes, and you can feel the presence of stone and space below your feet. And you feel it stretch on about 100, 150 meters as you walk over it.
can't tell much more about this place other than how far it stretches.
How big is it?
150 meters or so.
You have any idea what sort of structure?
At the end, you feel it widen out.
And it's narrow, but then it widens.
So
Sorry, this is fake.
a passage with a chamber at the end.
Yes, you could see it like that, I suppose.
If we keep walking, will you be able to tell if there's more?
We can try.
Just a slight further investigation on that, see if it's like a underground web of tunnels or just that.
Feels like it's just that, just this straight singular line. At the beginning, towards the entrance, it feels like it branches off a little bit and then goes back to being.
Is it a
long corridor.
contained area, or does it like a broad?
Contained. Yeah, it feels contained. You're able to reach out basically on your hands and knees, just like feeling through the energy of the earth.
So it's like a cell, rather than.
It's not a labyrinth of tunnels.
Okay. It's an enclosed area. It's not tunnels or anything.
So it's either potentially a place of worship and there's an altar down there, or it's keeping something inside. That's the only two reasons I could think of for a structure like this.
Could be a tomb.
It could be a tomb. But why would you barricade a tomb? Elyse whispers zombies. You don't want to go down the steps.
I don't want to go underground.
Is it just because it's underground? You haven't experienced anything like this structure before? I mean, like druidic and.
Not druidic.
Okay.
Besides, Boblem can read it.
No, I understand that. I just wondered if there was a reason why you're worried about this in particular. But I don't know. I am at a complete loss.
Sorry, I can't be more specific.
You've been plenty of help. And walk back.
Okay.
Elyse, I don't know what to
Find
do.
yourself at the top.
I think we should stick with our original idea. Get to Sanskrit. Maybe we can find some information about this there. I know that you're desperate to help these things, but this place is somewhere that we don't really understand, and there seems to be a lot of strange creatures here. We don't know if we can trust what you're hearing. It could be a trap of
Oh,
some
world's
kind.
full of strange creatures.
I know.
You can't hear how sad it is.
I know them well.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. Did you find anything?
Sariel could detect that. Come back down the stairs. So it's just a long corridor in there with some sort of large chamber at the end. Nothing else. A tomb or a temple or a cell. And why would you barricade a tomb or a temple from the outside?
I may not have much experience with these specific types of creatures, but something tells me we need to be cautious and not just go barreling into this. I think we should go to Sanskrit and try to find information before we do this. I'm not saying we're not going to come back,
Okay.
I think I agree with Elyse.
but someone in Sanskrit might know something
We
about these creatures.
may be
or
able to
this
do anything,
place.
but we may not be in the best position right now.
Okay.
And it's like with the Drake. We had to take time away, find out more, arm ourselves against the situation,
Mm.
and then we succeeded. If you hadn't known how to speak to that thing, then it would have gone completely awry. Let's treat
you're
this the
one
same.
that helped that situation. Okay.
I will
I suppose-
still got the journal in my hands. I'm going to sketch just like a rough idea of what the temple, tomb,
Mhm.
whatever looks like, so that we can show it to people.
Okay.
And I'll copy down the druidic things, even though I don't understand them.
Okay.
As if we turn and start heading up the stairs, then Astra reaches and holds Elise's hand.
Oh, soft.
He just likes to hold hands.
Okay. Thank you for walking. I'm sorry. I'm not saying we're not going to come back.
I know.
I just think we need more information. You shouldn't run into these kinds of situations without trying to find out everything you can, you know?
Astra just nods. He looks like he might cry. He carries on.
Oh! Ren's going to do something incredibly foolish before he comes back up the stairs, and just before he goes to leave, just stops for a moment and turns back to the door, and just knocks.
You knock on the wood or on the stone, and you put your hand on it, and there's not much resistance. Put your hand on the crack, and you feel a breeze slightly moving
Turn
through.
back to look at Ren. What you doing?
I don't know. There's a breeze coming from the inside.
It's a breeze.
Yes, let's get out of here.
I mean, I could
You could
turn invisible and go inside,
No,
but
because
that
then we
didn't
have to
go
open
well
the
last
door.
time.
We get out of here. Your plan is solid.
Okay.
But you just said there's a breeze. You can get it open.
There's a breeze and no entrance anywhere else. That doesn't sound trustworthy to me.
It could be a trap left for travellers.
Exactly. All of it could be a trap left for travellers.
I trust the person I spoke to.
And I don't trust.
She was being sincere.
I don't trust the Mangroves.
As they're having this discussion, can I cast Find Traps?
Yeah.
An old dimension of traps.
Speaker in the bottom's like, oh, come on.
I didn't mean specifically traps, I just meant like the whole thing could be like it draws you in and you can never leave.
But just in general, you know? Since we're already down here.
You
Cassian losing his shit.
reach out and
Cassian's composed.
you detect the long shattered remains of one immediately behind the door.
Yeah.
And then it goes out and you feel nothing. You feel the presence of what once was a trap. You feel basically axe next to behind the other side of the door, crumpled and broken and rusted on the floor, as if it's been there for 1,000 years.
I just cast a little spell to see if I can detect any traps. And I couldn't detect any, but there were some remains of ones on the other side.
Does
So-
that cover arcane traps, Boblem?
It does. You do know that it
Okay.
does.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the door can be opened and there are traps in there that are disarmed or so old that they don't work anymore, if there was something being held in there, it could have come out.
Yeah, that's what I'm
On its
thinking.
own.
There's nothing keeping it in
I
there
don't
then.
trust this.
You trust this less now?
Yeah,
If
If
it
it
could
could get
easily
out.
get out, it wants you to come in.
exactly.
You're right.
Yeah, if there are no traps, then it would have come out.
I think we should go to Sanskrit and try to find information on this. If we can. I don't trust it. I think there's some kind of fey magic or something here that tries to keep creatures here.
Astra's gonna walk up to
Lure
the
them.
door and like just press his head and a hand against it in Sylvan, say, I promise you I will be back.
And you just hear a soft sobbing.
He also hears in the back of his head, in Sylvan, don't come back.
At that point, the rest of you hear from further back behind you just a low, low sob. I think that's where we're in tonight.
Oh God!
Oof,
Okay.
that was a lot, huh?
Thank you all for playing. Well done. That was good.
Thank you, thank you, JJ.
My pleasure. And thank you all for joining us. This has been wonderful. This has been Life of the Party. We are NyxRising Industries. Thank you all so much. We love you.
We love you!
Bye.
Hello adventurers, it's Renard once again. First things first, don't forget to check out our dice giveaway competition with ice cream dice in the description. Just 1 week to go until the winners are chosen. Our crowdfund has reached an end, and I know I speak for all of us here at Life of the Party when I say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all of your support and the love you've shown for our story. Thanks to the Indiegogo In Demand feature, you can still visit the crowdfund page via the link below and get access to our Discord, create an NPC, and more. Huge thanks to this week's top supporters, Juliet Kroll and Emily Erin, and of course to our executive producers, Liam Moran, Caitlin Ferguson, Emily Hogarth, and Alexandra Johnson. Your support is our bardic inspiration. Until next time, keep on fighting the good fight, and we'll see you on Wednesday.